Yo baseball fam. Strap in because what I'm about to unleash is not just breaking news, it's a seismic earthquake ripping through the fabric of Major League Baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers have just ignited a powder keg of controversy with moves so bold, so calculated, that fans are rioting in the streets, executives are hiding under their desks, and the league's competitive balance is hanging by a thread. We're talking a jaw-dropping $189 million contract dangling like bait for a guy who once shattered Dodgers' dreams in the playoffs, trades that sacrifice young blood for battle-hardened warriors, and a web of whispers suggesting this is all part of a grand, shadowy scheme to dominate the sport forever. If you're a Dodgers diehard, this is your championship blueprint. If you're anyone else, it's your worst nightmare. You won't believe the depths of this conspiracy. Let's expose it all right now. Alright, let's break this down step by step because the Dodgers front office just unleashed a tsunami of shockwaves that have baseball Twitter in meltdown mode. Picture the scene. It's a quiet off-season morning and bim, the Dodgers dropped their official announcement. 3 unexpected additions to the lineup, but not just any, these are game changers. Gavin Lux, that versatile utility spark plug who was supposed to be the future, gets effectively released and resigned in a trade, out the door to make way for the real heavy hitters. Then, CEO Andrew Friedman, the puppet master himself, casually mentions a $189 million contract, the first of its kind for a B-boy, and America erupts in stitches, memes, and outrage. The first ripples from Los Angeles sent a quiet shockwave through baseball, but it's building into a full-blown storm. Friedman's crew, led by the enigmatic Andrew Friedman, signaled their willingness to forego a young player like Lux and instead pivot to proven, grizzled vets. At the epicenter? Nico Hoerner, the Cubs' silent assassin, quietly building his legend in Chicago. This wasn't just reinforcement, it was a declaration. Multiple scouts unanimously called it a cultural gamble, the Dodgers' signature move. And the tension? It's escalating, folks. Why now? Why these players? What dark secrets are they hiding? Let's peel back the layers before the league implodes. Before we dive deeper, we gotta set the table with the who's who because these aren't random names, they're legacies tied to heartbreak and glory. The Dodgers, under Friedman's iron fist, have always been the gold standard. Flashy signings, big market dominance, and a roster that screams dynasty. But this offseason? They're evolving, ditching the shiny toys for reliable tools. Nico Hoerner, the 28-year-old Chicago Cubs cornerstone, isn't your typical star. He built his reputation as a grinder, steady, unassuming, the guy who shows up every day and delivers. Born in the Midwest, Hoerner rose through the ranks as a contact hitter and defensive stalwart, earning his stripes in the Cubs system before exploding into a gold glove machine. Bo Bichette? The 26-year-old Toronto Blue Jays slugger, fresh off a contentious exit, is a different beast. Son of Dante Bichette, he's got pedigree, power, and a postseason chip on his shoulder after tormenting the Dodgers in key series. And Kyle Tucker? The Houston Astros' 27-year-old outfielder, once the winter's brightest prospect, is the wild card, elite defender, power bat, but now mired in contract limbo. These players aren't just athletes, they're pieces of a puzzle. Hoerner's Cubs tenure was about stability, Bichette's Blue Jays run was about raw talent clashing with management, Tucker's Astros saga is about untapped potential. The Dodgers see them as the missing links to their World Series dreams. But here's the intrigue. Each has a Dodgers connection. Hoerner as a trade target, Bichette as a playoff foe, Tucker as a rumored suitor. Is this fate or manipulation? You tell me. Here's the crazy part, the part that has people furious and whispering in dark corners. This whole thing screams conspiracy. Andrew Friedman isn't just building a team. He's orchestrating a league-wide chess game, sacrificing young talent to lock in vets who fit his consistency over flash manifesto. Why trade Lux and prospects like River Ryan, a Tommy John rehabber with untapped upside, for Hoerner? Because Friedman's not playing by the rules. He's manipulating the market, using insider knowledge to flip the script. Scouts aren't just calling it a gamble. They're hinting at a bigger plan, a way to sidestep the Dodgers' postseason curses. And that $189 million Bichette tease? It's revenge porn for baseball, turning a bitter rival into a teammate, all while dangling short-term deals with opt-outs for Tucker. Insiders are leaking that this is strategic sabotage, creating an imbalance that forces other teams to overpay or fold. Is Friedman colluding with agents? Are there backroom deals we don't know about? The evidence is piling up. Stalled Tucker talks, sudden Bichette interest, and a philosophy that prioritizes wins over development. This isn't random, it's a calculated power grab, and if it succeeds, the Dodgers could own baseball for a decade. What if this is just the tip of the iceberg? More trades, more signings, all part of a master plan to rig the playoffs. Fans are outraged and rightfully so. It's borderline illegal in spirit. Let's compare this madness to the Dodgers' storied past, because history doesn't lie, and it's screaming that this is their MO on steroids. Remember the Manny Ramirez trade in 2008, where they shipped prospects for a proven slugger? Or signing Yasiel Puig in 2018 for that instant buzz? This is that, but amplified, prioritizing stability over hype just like the Yankees did with their Corvettes. Kyle Tucker's market freeze? It's eerily similar to Shohei Ohtani's 2023 saga, where value stalled until the right team, the Dodgers, swooped in. Analysts like Robbie Hyde are drawing parallels to Alex Bregman's $120 million Boston deal or Pete Alonso's $54 million Mets pact. Short-term plays that bought time and rebuilt value. Bregman used it to dominate. Alonso bounced to Baltimore for more cash. Tucker's at that crossroads. Long-term security or short-term glory with LA. And Horner's Cubs to Dodgers swap? Echoes the Cubs' own 2016 rebuild, trading depth for stars, but now it's fueling an empire. Why the shift? Because the market's changed. Teams like the Dodgers are hoarding talent, forcing stars to chase rings over riches. Is this a new era or a return to the bad old days of imbalance? Rhetorical question. If the Dodgers keep this up, will we see a repeat of the 1990s Yankees dominance, where no one could touch them? The patterns are there and they're terrifying. Now, let's dissect the roster implications because this reshuffle isn't just tweaks. It's a full-blown overhaul that could redefine the Dodgers' depth chart and salary dynamics. With Horner sliding into second base, they eliminate that nagging infield inconsistency. Currently, the Dodgers rely on patchwork lineups, shifting players based on matchups, which works short-term but breeds postseason jitters. Horner's presence? It's a game-changer, providing tactical flexibility and locking down defense. Lux's exit means reallocating roles. Tommy Edman could pivot to center field, maximizing his speed and range without the infield grind. Bichette at shortstop? He'd synergize with Mookie Betts, creating a powerhouse duo. Offense meets elite glove work. Salary-wise, that $189 million Bichette bomb? It balloons the payroll, but Friedman's signaling no more experiments. Tucker's potential 3-year deal with opt-outs? It adds outfield depth without long-term handcuffs, preserving cap space for Ohtani extensions. Development concerns? Ryan's trade hurts the farm, but the Dodgers are all in on results. Hypothetically, imagine a playoff game. Horner snags a hot grounder, Bichette launches a walk-off, Tucker robs a homer. This is tactical brilliance, but at what cost? Young talent sacrificed, depth thinned. Could this backfire in injuries? Fans are debating. Is this sustainable or a recipe for burnout? The implications are massive, reshaping workloads and roles into a finely tuned machine. Scouting reports are pouring in, and let's geek out on the nitty-gritty, stats, strengths, weaknesses, projections, because these guys aren't just players, they're weapons in Friedman's arsenal. Nico Horner, strengths? Defensive maestro. 2 Gold Gloves in the last 3 years with a .297 batting average, 73 RBIs, and 9 home runs over 156 games. His contact rate is elite, 90% plus. Speed disrupts bases and he's error-proof. Weaknesses? Power's limited, only 9 hours, and he's not a base-stealing threat. Projections? At 28, expect 150-plus games of stability, WAR around 3.0, minimizing errors and giving the Dodgers a tactical edge in close games. Kyle Tucker, 27, cannon arm for defense, .284 average with 30-plus homers last season. Strengths, power surge, 40 HR potential, elite outfield range. Weaknesses, strikeout prone, 25% rate, market value too high for quick deals. Projections, short-term Dodgers deal unlocks 35 to 40 hours, 5-plus WAR, but long-term? He's a unicorn. Bo Bichette, .275, 30 hours, postseason beast. Strengths, raw power, contact skills for second base conversion. Weaknesses, injury history, shoulder woes, defensive adaptability. Projections, 25 to 30 hours in LA, but can he handle the shift? Stats show league average defense with upside. These breakdowns scream synergy. Horner's consistency complements Bichette's pop, Tucker's defense shores up gaps. But scouts warn, over-reliance on vets could expose flaws. What if Horner slumps? The conspiracy deepens. Did the Dodgers scout this perfectly, or is it a gamble? Oh man, the league is in full-blown panic mode and rivals are losing their minds in the most epic way. Cubs fans are torching social media. How could they trade Horner for Lux and Ryan? That's speed and potential down the drain. Astros loyalists are screaming betrayal, accusing the Dodgers of poaching Tucker like corporate raiders. Blue Jays execs? They're fuming, seeing Bichette rumors as a personal insult, with reports of internal meetings to counteroffer. Media's exploding, ESPN's calling it Dodgers dominance, with Robbie Hyde predicting Tucker lands in LA for a strategic short-term deal. Fan reactions? Twitter's a war zone, Padres fans chanting cheaters at games, Giants supporters demanding MLB investigations. Anecdotes abound. One Padres fan told me, "This is rigged. The Dodgers are buying the World Series." Even neutral observers are outraged, questioning competitive balance. Why the fury? Because this domino effect. Horner trade sparks Bichette interest, which pressures Tucker, creates a ripple that leaves contenders scrambling. If Bichette signs, Edman shifts, Betts gets backup. It's a machine gunning for 100 wins. Rivals like the Mets and Yankees are already plotting countermeasures. The shock? It's not just moves, it's a league-wide conspiracy theory come to life. People are furious and it's only getting louder. Zoom out with me, folks, because this isn't just off-season drama, it's reshaping the season, free agency, and MLB soul. The Dodgers are gearing for a 100-win juggernaut. Horner stabilizes, Bichette adds pop, Tucker seals it. Free agency? Friedman's short-term strategy flips the script. Stars like Tucker opt out, chase rings, then re-sign big. Competitive balance? Kaput. This imbalance favors LA, forcing teams to overspend or rebuild. Conspiracy theorists are vindicated. Friedman's moves could lead to a dynasty with Ohtani as the cherry on top. But what if backlash hits? MLB could cap contracts or investigate. For the season? Expect Dodgers dominance, rival uprisings. Long-term? A new era of haves and have-nots. Rhetorical bomb. Is this the end of fair play or just smart business? The implications are staggering. Baseball's ninth inning is heating up, and the Dodgers are playing for eternity. Alright, baseball warriors, that's the explosive, conspiracy-laden breakdown you've been waiting for. The Dodgers offseason is a masterclass in manipulation, prioritizing consistency, flipping rivals, and building an unstoppable force that could shatter records. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this genius or greed? Will Tucker bite on a short-term deal? Could Bichette forgive past sins? And what about you? Do you buy the conspiracy or is it just hype? Drop your fiery thoughts in the comments below. Dodgers cheaters? Or Friedman GOAT? Like this video if it blew your mind, subscribe for more breakdowns that expose the game's underbelly, and share with your crew if you're outraged. Hit that bell, follow on socials, and let's debate. What's next for MLB? Stay locked in, fam. Baseball's about to explode and I want your take. See you in the next one where we dive even deeper. Peace out.